probably want to choose to go here because Renekton. Oh,
classic.
This is LPL, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, the Renekton is going to be B1 right here, especially since Rumble and Nara are both taken out. Wow, this draft is going by so quickly. Wait, we just mentioned how he came off of yesterday's series, undying on that Lilia with an MVP on his back as well. And Lucian, one of the strongest mid lane 80 carries for Knight. Pretty much the strongest after Tristana got a slight nerf to her kit.
It's been ridiculous what this pick has been able to do. The burst damage, but not only that, the consistent pushing. And that's like been the entire conversation tonight of who's going to have priority in mid lane because it just enables everything else. It is the Corki. This has been tried and true. We've had like graphics every single time this matchup's come up to see who's winning in which capacity. I do believe the Lucian is in the advantage here so far in the mid lane. But this is also something where you can get a little bit more of the wombo combo set up for FPX and find those big pieces later as they go for the misfortune.
I actually really love the takeaway of the misfortune right here. Not only does it give you a very strong early lane that you can play through if you choose that as MilkyWay, but it's also a takeaway from Elk. Elk has shown to be such a strong misfortune down the bot lane, and you definitely do not want to be giving a wombo combo in the hands of the bot lane of BLG. Now, talking about carry matchups on the top side of the map. I don't talk a lot about hovers, but I'm pretty sure Yabin is going to lock that one in here. And we do have Kennen versus Renekton. This gets very exciting because we can see MilkyWay playing towards ZDZ. That Renekton, I'm not going to say anything, but okay, I'm going to say it. Pairs up really nicely with a certain Nidalee that MilkyWay can play really well. And they can play to get ZDZ ahead in the early.
I do worry though, because something that we can say for sure is that BLG have some hella team fighting hands, and they are going for that right now. They're gonna say, FPX, you can't beat us in a team fight. We will win that out. So I want to see how FPX can kind of shore themselves up with the second phase. We are getting the Alistar ban by BLG on the red side towards life to try to take away some of that setup tool, some of that wombo combo there, and I expect that to continue to be the case. Right now, it's the Senna ban by FPX though.
I'm not gonna lie, I would love to see Rel banned away by FPX as well. I feel like that wombo combo that you can get, and BLG are really in need of some sort of engage for their team. And I feel like with the Alistar banned out, Rel is the only other champion that really provides a big wombo combo engage. It's gonna go through here, and I feel like BLG could very easily be looking towards something like that. You need some sort of entrance for your Kennen and your Lilia and your Lucian to put down the damage. And On is no stranger to having 4 carries on his team and being the only one with any ability to engage any fight.
Love the setup here, potentially, for BLG, and they'll maybe still have a little bit of fun with that mid lane matchup. This is something else that I think would be in the wheelhouse. It's really just looking at MilkyWay trying to find a carry here. It has been a huge success for him in the past. If he can find something that's maybe a little bit different and find those avenues in, I do like that as well. Right now, the Poppy is locked in. There still is a little bit of flexibility there, but Life can be looking for a support to set up, and that can be a Poppy jungle.
Ooh, I'm not sure I would like to see MilkyWay onto this Poppy. I'd like to see that Poppy possibly going towards the bots of the map and MilkyWay like his Kindred. I feel like Kindred pairs up so nicely with whatever BLG going on. BLG are going in. They are going all in. And I feel like the Kindred ultimate is going to be of such pivotal importance to save certain members from the BLG onslaught. And we'll see what they're going to choose to lock in as the last one. Anything that can go in, Ezreal, pretty much one of the best champions, can play alone towards the bots of the map, can go in wherever he wants as well. That draft from BLG is absolute perfection right here. You've got Lucian, one of the best champions in the mid lane, in one of the best mid laners' hands in the LPL as well. MilkyWay coming off of an MVP on his Lilia performance yesterday. And again, when attention shifts to the tops of the map, you also have an Ezreal that can stay all alone down the bot lane, has a lot of self-agency, and On can actually roam the map with his Rel. I love the setup from BLG here.
Biggest thing is that On can get out of the on the map. You can play so safe down there with Elk. I think we'll see how the Misfortune does as well. Pretty safe in the lane itself. So definitely looking at the 4 members of the team to be pretty active on the top side of the map. But I think it's also looking at how this jungle matchup is so particularly important. The Lilia speed of clear is going to be really nice for getting those marks out from under MilkyWay. MilkyWay is going to have to stay extremely active to try to get those under him so he can make sure he has that fight damage potential. The marksman comp is nice, but you cannot be falling behind with it in a lot of cases. And especially in a series where BLG, they're taking it real serious to try to get first place of the regular season, to get that first place going into the playoffs. It's an important one on both sides. MilkyWay's judgment day is nigh, and it might be at the hands of none other than BLG's Way. Somebody who has brought such a rebirth of potential to Bilibili Gaming in the latter half of this split. But Game 1 in Shanghai has been kicking off for our last day of the Rumble stage here in summer. Let's give it up for FPX versus BLG. As we get into it now, we're actually going to get Knight coming around the corner there. Oh, they spotted him there. I wonder if they were actually going to go for it. Nothing else going to come of it there. But the level 1, kind of important to look at the vision being given out. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of these rooms. We got the Hail Blades Poppy in here. Nothing's bad.
Okay, you know how Life was hovering that pike? The pike rune stayed. The champion changed.
What we're saying is Pike is Poppy, Poppy is Pike. Never seen them in the same room together. I don't know.
That's exactly what I mean.
Oh, no.
Oh, he missed it.
Didn't get the wall bang. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, that was a little bit too early right there from Life. Loses his flash. And as you can see, Way starting towards the top side of the map. It could be a very pleasant surprise for BLG and unpleasant for FPX now that Life has lost his flash. Now, I want to speak a little bit about that Poppy and in general what it brings to the team, because I feel like the engage in general for FPX is really lacking. And when you have champions like the Misfortune that really love someone to set up a fight for her so he can stand still, use that bullet time, there's a very potent combo of abilities as well. You really need that lockdown, and Poppy is a very conditional lockdown, if you will. Somebody has to be standing close to a wall, which Elk almost was right there. Yeah. And I feel like the setups for FPX are going to be quite difficult to do. I feel like FPX right here will most likely be on the back foot in terms of defending rather than trying to find openings into BLG.
Yeah, there's little mechanical plays that you can make. Like, we just saw a little example of it there with the crash down being stopped by the heroic charge. Like, there's little things like that that can happen, the steadfast presence around the Ezreal, things like that. But it's really minute. It's going to have to come up more often for Life to say that this pick is actually super impactful. We are getting both junglers pathing straight down here towards bot lane, though. And we'll see exactly what that pans out to here as well, because there is already a bit of priority gained by Elk and On.
However, with how powerful Misfortune is, you can very easily trim that wave. So we're looking for the next cannon. Potentially both junglers are going to be pathing towards the bot side of the map as well. And as you can see, On has taken a pretty solid position in that third brush right there, taking control of that bot side of the map. Now, of course, Kindred was spotted on the chicken, so they will know that MilkyWay is also pathing towards that bot side of the map. Just about both junglers finishing at the same time. Their jungle as well, both very, very fast on the clear. And
there
FPX,
it is, into the wall.
Oh.
Way is around the corner. They didn't get Elk just yet. Deokdam's going for it. First blood. It's actually going to go the way of Life. Now Life is trying to get away, but Deokdam is in a bad position. MilkyWay has come over. Flash is going to come out of Way. This might just be what FPX needed. Nice lockdown by On, though, and MilkyWay gives his life in return. That's a 2-for-1 trade in the end, but honestly, you take those for any sign of life for FPX.
Absolutely.
Here we
Elk
go.
walks too close to the wall. I thought Life was going to take this, but they have to know that Elk is on his way back.
They have to know. Right into the wall, and On, he will end up getting one back, so that's 2 kills to the Rel, but we give another one over to FPX, and Deokdam gets it.
Hey guys, thank you for the transfer of the buffs. We wanted them on the Misfortune as well. FPX will be more than happy taking those double buffs away from On onto the Rel and getting that kill onto Misfortune, again snowballing that early power that Misfortune has. Getting back into base, grabbing any early AD, a pickaxe or a BF sword, even better for Deokdam right here. There's going to be so much raw power in the hands of that AD carry.
Go save his life. Go do it. CDC's in trouble. You gotta save the croc, man. He's having not a great time up there. It's full health, a level up over him. Gonna be even now. Now life is going on the way, but now MilkyWay is also here. So we're just changing sides of the map. But it's gonna turn into a 4v3 in favor of BLG as Knight has come over, dashes over the wall. MilkyWay is getting low. The speed up is there, and Way picks up the kill. BLG are now getting collapsed on because there's another person coming, and it's Care all the way from mid lane, getting locked down by On, but they'll take him down with the Valkyrie there. Way and Knight still stepping forward. The phosphorus bomb gonna hit, but that is a massive advantage now, baby, being carved out by FPX because Knight has gone overextended. Knight gets the kill, flashes away, is gonna not die to Care as he flashed and dashed over the wall. What a play from BLG to scrape nothing and find something.
Care is so close, he's still chasing. Look in the mid lane, On is on the way.
That hurts.
Knight. He gets out. That was literally half an auto attack from Care, but BLG moves so darn quickly on the map. This is why you cannot catch a break anywhere. FPX expends so many flashes to play for that bot side of the map, and BLG shift the pressure towards the top. As you'll see, On and Life all the way towards the top side, but that Hex Flash was a little bit too far forward from Life. Ends up being punished a little bit, and by that time, Knight has already pressured that mid. He's the first one, but we have another dive bot.
They've dove onto Elk, have killed him. But I don't know if they're going to be able to follow that. Shattering Strikes comes up. We're looking back at Live. Yeah, this replay is cool. On is trying to get more kills here. Is the bird going to be enough? The healing there. Bullet time. Is he going to die too? One more auto, and it's enough. Life takes it. And this is a smorgasbord of action. We are 12 kills in, rather, at 6.5 minutes. My goodness.
Are you not entertained? BLG said we need to win this series 2-0 to take first place. And FPX said bet. 2,000 gold up. 6 minutes on the in. And I am loving what I'm seeing right here, Mazel. Because we've been talking about FPX and what's been going wrong for them. And it hasn't necessarily been anything that's been going massively wrong. It's just been inconsistency in performing. And right here, Deokdam and Life, they've been pinning Elk since Mini 1, where they found him in that tri-brush. Life has been playing so well onto this Poppy. We were talking a lot about the setup that this Poppy could potentially be missing by not necessarily having a point-and-click CC to set up for Misfortune. But Deokdam right now is hitting 2-0-3. 5 out of 7 kill participation means that most of this activity has been happening towards the bot side of the map. Deokdam is definitely 100% set up for success right here. Onto a champion that, if gets fed up in the early, get that extra AD early on, you can definitely snowball into that lane.
Now we're taking a look at top lane. Beautiful slicing Maelstrom here. It actually makes the difference, but Lamb's Respite does come out in the end. So we get both ultimates from FPX. Bin does make it out alive after burning his flash and his, but that's a huge dissuasion of the gank.
Great from stuff from Bin like that, using his flash to get out. Zidizzy is thinking about it, doesn't have the flash. Only has Slice and Dice, and Bin would have to get a little bit too close to that creep to get the back end of the W from the Renekton. However, again, whenever all these plays happen, I'm looking at what's happening in the mid lane, and Knight always has first step in the river. Any single time that FPX try to make a play towards any side of the map, it is Knight with the first move on the map. However, On, he's gonna find FPX's jungler. Just looking, putting that ward down. Caught MilkyWay on his blue buff.
Yeah.
Nothing else for now. On has been forced to play a lot more aggressive than we knew him ever since Way has joined the team. And that's because a lot of the pressure has been put into this early game to get BLG ahead. And it has been a heck of an early game.
Yeah, and I want to take a look back to some of the things we wanted to see from FPX coming to this one. I think the activity to match some of what Way was bringing, but also with this composition itself and getting MilkyWay some activity to get him ahead on the Kindred is super important. And so far we have seen that, right? He's on 3 marks. He's going to be close to that 4th already, which is actually huge to get super early into the game. But it really is still about trying to maintain some of this consistency for them. You're going to be getting to these first items here soon. You do not want to kind of let off the gas. Yes, you have a lot of scaling options. You have a lot of strength. But if MilkyWay starts to fall behind, it can be a serious problem for FPX in this game.
Oh, absolutely. And let's remind everyone, BLG are known for their team fighting. And if you look over, they have a massive wombo combo coming into FPX. The Kennen, the Rel, the massive engages, the all-ins. But this composition has now wait. He has been spotted.
Got hit in the wall there. He's in trouble. Yeah, burns his flash. That's going to be big. You want that flash on the Lilia to be able to get the flash lilting lullabies. We also have the next grubs coming up, and FPX have already taken 3, so they're on the verge of grub again.
Honestly, hats off to Life. I feel like he has been pulling on around the rift this entire early game. He is still level 5. He needs to find that level 6, which is very important if they want to start taking skirmishes.
They'll find level 6. See if that makes a difference here, though. He's going to use the crash now to get away. They were also bringing up Deokdam from that mid lane, as we've seen lane transitions as the marksmen from mid lane go back to the bot lane, and we'll actually have Deokdam and Elk go at each other in mid lane. I think that actually helps a little bit for BLG. Do not mind the Lucian in the side lane, but they did end up giving over the grub again, so that's going to be something they're going to have to pay for later.
Life, please, go to a lane, leech some XP, get that level 6, buddy. He's still level 5 mid laners. Top lane is level 9. And Life is still level 5 as a... Now it's going to use the calling right. The 80 carries are ganking now? What is happening?
He's strutting. He's strutting to make it rain. Care wants to go and immediately flashes out his way. Has come in. The Lilting Lullaby going to be hit by the W of Knight, so not going to make much proc damage on that one. FPX trying to make a counterplay on the other side of the map. They're just going to get the Slicing Maelstrom out from Ben to clear that wave. Also, Elk has been taking the mid lane turret and does get a plate for himself there.
Okay, so let's do a summary of what's been happening. Deokdam pushes mid lane, starts strutting, as you said, towards the bottom of the map, ganks Knight. Nothing comes off of this. Wei has to use his ultimate to sway any situation. Perfect. Meanwhile, FPX tried to go for a gank towards the top of the map, for a dive rather. Take the flash and ult off of ZDZ. His team was waiting around, but Bin uses the ultimate to clean up the wave. And he has been action non-stop in this game. The beneficiary of this action, of course, being Deokdam, 1.4 thousand gold up onto Elk's Ezreal, 2-0 and 3. Bloodthirster already completed. So not only does his misfortune hit like a truck, but she also has that life steal, extra little bit of survivability on those big fights to come. And we just mentioned the wombo combo, that Bloodthirster could be the difference between life or death.
And it's going to take a lot of reservation. It's going to take a lot of coolness under pressure for Deokdam, because they will be knowing to wait for the bullet time. He's going to have to wait out some of the CC chains that BLG can bring to the table and find that perfect positioning, because if he does, it's going to make the biggest difference in the fight. And that's that kind of consistency, that carry potential that FPX relied on in spring in a lot of their team fighting efforts. So glad to see him put in a position of power, but now they're going to move that position of power down towards this dragon, as it could be the first one for FPX or the second for BLG. Looks like BLG are just going to give this side of the map.
Yeah, I feel like for BLG, it's very scary.
Oh, Knight, you overextended, bud. That is a poppy, and life is lethal.
Life reminds me a lot of Crisp on that Leona game. He's literally everywhere, and that's exactly what we asked for when it comes to MilkyWay, being able to carry, being able to get ahead. He's already got 4 marks on the Kindred, like 12 minutes in, he already had 4 marks, and it does come down to this bot lane. They're taking control versus BLG's bot lane straight off that level 1. Deokdam
Lilting maybe being popped here. They are going to get it out. True Shot Barrage going to get the proc, but it's not nearly going to be enough damage. The dragon did go down to MilkyWay. He also has his 4th mark now, so going to have that first additional, and he'll have Kraken Slayer. So MilkyWay hitting a pretty big stride here. Deokdam needs to be very careful. Going to get the heal. They engage there from On. Goes a little bit wide. Nice flash. Bullet time coming out. On's going to die to the turret. Really big play. Life and Deokdam, they heard us talking smack. They are turning it up here in game number 1.
Oh, absolutely. And that looked a little bit messy from BLG. But again, they're overcommitting to the play. They're trying to make plays themselves. Seen as FPX are constantly active on the map. 4,500 the gold lead right now for FPX. Majority of that on that misfortune. Deokdam banks in yet another kill. And again, all of this pressure that Deokdam and Light have been creating on the map have been taking pressure off of MilkyWay. He's slowly been farming up an entire storm. Life is top lane now.
Yeah, honestly, this is like the dirtiest Poppy solo queue nightmare game. Like, he is fine. The hex flashes that have just been so dirty. Like, Knight dies here with flash still up.
That is absolutely perfect, though. He W flashes through the wall.
Yep.
There is absolutely no way to react right there from Knight. He didn't have his flash available. You cannot E while the W's up as well. We see, top lane.
Oh, they got him, though. BLG have pounced themselves. They just got Bin a double kill, and that just might mean that Giga Bin is activated.
Ooh, and when you get too active on the map, you might overcommit to a situation. Bin shuts that down. 3-0 now, very close to his first item. Is he under pressure?
MilkyWay's trying to get over here as fast as possible. Now they're going to take the fight into Way. Try to take the Gromp, and he'll just die anyways. MilkyWay comes away with a second kill there. They have the Rift Herald available to them as well. Now we're looking mid lane. The ADC's going toe-to-toe. We are getting collapsed by FPX. Elka just giving his life. Oh, he tried to get it. He tried to get that double up, but it didn't have the angle. Couldn't curve the bullet, but the Rift Herald might be able to curve into this turret.
That is a Rift Herald, but there's no HP bars or mana bars to back that one up. Life's gonna show up on.
Oh my god, he gets him again. Dude, Life has just found a way, as he consistently has in FPX's bright moments, especially looking back to spring. My goodness, this Poppy is despicable.
This Poppy's coming out of nowhere. She's everywhere on the map. I'm scared. I'm scared to open any cupboards in my house right now because Life's Poppy is probably gonna spring out of one of those. Now, Shadow and Deokdam are here taking that mid lane tier 1, very important, while Care is taking that top lane tier 1 as well. Has MilkyWay on his side as well. Bin is looking.
Way is around the corner here, but they already took the turret. Now Bin is in a lot of trouble. Man, the decision making from BLG has been tragic so far in this part of the game. We do see them fall prey yet again, but Knight, he is TP'd. Maybe he's the Knight in shining armor for BLG. Doesn't have as much damage, though. The Blade of the Moon King is nice. And now you don't have your jungler over here. So both BLG and FPX make it away. Does end up losing Bin's life for it, though.
I feel like FPX are creating so much chaos for BLG. BLG do not know, for the first time in a while, how to respond. We know BLG to be so quick-witted on the map in terms of the decisions that they make and the lanes they choose to hit. You remember over in spring, you take one side from BLG, they'll take the entire other side of the map for free. And BLG have been constantly trying to put pressure, create opportunities. We saw the 3-0 going over to Bin, and instantly FPX shut that down. Now, 2,000 gold lead onto Kindred. 2,000 gold lead onto the Misfortune. They've got 280 carries set up for success.
We're going to be getting to the points where you have to start taking some of these team fights, and the fact that Deokdam has such a lead. We already have 2 carries, by the way, of FPX on 2 items. Well, I thought On might make the tragic move, but he does end up going the long way there to get to ZDZ. His pop dominance is buying a lot of time. As Care comes down, the flash comes out from ZDZ. Swirl Seed hits onto Care. Lilting Lullaby is available. He's going to pop it. He wants to get this. Slicing Maelstrom is there too. Bin trying to get the lockdown. True Shot Barrage. It's going to be Way that gets it in the end. And now ZDZ turning back on On. Life finds him again. That's going to be the lockdown, though, coming right back to him. And now that Knight and Elk are here, they have the damage to back this up. Another 2 kills goes to Bin.
You poke a bear, the bear is gonna strike back. BLG taking 3 down. Finding ZDZ. Hold on a minute. This started by them chasing down ZDZ, and ZDZ is the sole survivor of this whole plan down the both side of the map. Luckily for Deokdam, doesn't get involved in this one, so managed to keep his bounty. But let's watch this one more time. ZDZ overextends a little bit. His team was on the entire other side of the map. Care TPs into this one, does have the flash available, but doesn't dodge the Q. Sorry, the E from Lilia, which means that it's a very easy ult going down from Way. And sure, Slashing Maelstrom was not up by that point, but Bin didn't actually need it. Life overextends right here. Ends up going down. Bin, huge ultimate right here to zone away the Deokdam's Misfortune as well, and just about survives by dodging the last bullet. On and Bin getting out with 1 HP, but still, that's a victory for BLG. They do manage to shut down that Kindred.
That is the case, but it's still FPX going back out of the map and claiming a dragon, so it'll be second dragon for them. ZDZ is going to be preyed upon by On here as he stops his back for a moment. But that is actually really nice, though. I think something to really highlight for this earlier part of the game for FPX is they have had almost complete neutral objective control. They lost the one dragon there, but they've gotten all 6 scrubs. They got the Rift Herald. They've gotten 2 dragons. I think it's been a really nice, cohesive effort from FPX, which is one of the biggest conversations we had coming into this one.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been playing so aggressive, and it actually seems to suit them so much.
Yeah.
Life being everywhere onto this Poppy, I think, has been the difference maker. A lot of the times when you see things like the Nautilus, the Alistar, the Leona, all of those very active, engaged supports being taken out of the pool, you're like, what's left? And Life, not only does he bring in the Poppy, but we're actually worried in terms of what setup is actually the Poppy going to be able to bring in to get those wombo combos together with Misfortune. And it wasn't just necessarily about enabling that Misfortune. It was about enabling the dives towards the bot side of the map, punishing Elk for playing a little bit of a weaker kind of champion compared to the Misfortune in that early game. They shut him down early, and Deokdam, ever since, is now almost on his 3rd item. 20 minutes in that Misfortune is absolutely popping. The only champion they have not yet been able to shut down for BLG.
Oh, nice. That's a bad call. That's a big croc right there. And he gets the solo in a 1v2. He will end up falling to Way. But now MilkyWay is chasing down. Oh, look how much damage he does. He isn't even on that 7th mark just yet. And dodge out the swirl seed there as well. But big pick off onto Knight. And that's been a couple times now already.
Yeah, and as you can see, MilkyWay just about almost
nice
flash.
Giga Chad. I love that. He predicted the escape and goes for the kill. On also died at the end. And big trades across the map. The TP coming out for Bin to get him to safety. Realized that there might be a play onto him, and he will make it away with his Bandit Gold.
A Misfortune, a very, very fast champion as well. Bin just about getting out. Didn't see how on dive right there, but that was a beautiful flash from Bin to predict really the escape route from Care. That's just mean solo queue, for real, for real. You got if you see the ward, you gotta kill the ward. I don't make the rules myself. Supports do, and you gotta stick by it.
You have to, right?
Yeah. It's like the listen queue. If you hit a champion with it, you gotta take it. Like, even if you have to use your only control ward to hop back to your ward, you have to take the queue just to establish some dominance.
Well, there hasn't really been established dominance just yet in this game. We have dominance. It's close enough. But we still have about 3,000 gold down by BLG, which, in some games, especially their first games of series, has been a bit of a tradition at this point. But we still know them to be that team fighting team. And they'll be getting to these big item spikes. They're already on 2 items for pretty much everybody. And Way has his Seeker's Arm Guard. So we're getting ready on this top side for BLG to just try to make an aggressive play here. They're going for it. I think we go for the lulting lullaby. The True Shot perhaps comes out before, so the damage is already done. Knight gets the kill there. 2 big bullet time from Deokdam.
In all of this, the man is a masterful Misfortune, and he's 7-0-4.
Oh, absolutely. Deokdam is going crazy in those fights. BLG are going to pull in the TP from Knight. Baron has been started, but it's only 3 members and not a lot of HP on their bars right now. FPX are going to have to fall back. BLG have managed to successfully take them off this Baron, but I'm not sure who's going to be able to take that bounty off of Deokdam when Deokdam actually uses his flash to play aggressively in those fights. 7-0-4, 3rd item just completing his inventory and Infinity Edge. And let's watch this one more time. That is a great engage right there from Way. He hits both of the carries from the side of FPX. Milky will manage to get far back, but can't save his teammate with the ultimate. However, that bullet time in the choke point was absolutely lethal, and it's what splits BLG apart. And you mentioned Bin trying to find his way in, but when the fight is so split apart, it's so difficult for Kennen to find his own footing without the main engage in the front line.
It is so difficult, and now that Deokdam is on 3 items, the fact he's played so reserved, played so cleanly so far. It is so difficult for BLG to approach. We also have 8th mark completed for MilkyWay. And we got to show some love to Deokdam. Again, in spring, he was who they relied on a lot of time for the late game carries, and that hadn't been the case for a lot of this summer. But coming over from DRX Challenges, right, he wasn't even on the main roster before he got brought over here in LCK. So it's really nice. Obviously, he was in the past, but it's really nice to see FPX kind of picking up the ashes and finding a bit of a rebirth of his own here for Deokdam on the team.
8 marks right here as well onto MilkyWay, showing him taking that dragon. And I feel like for Deokdam and a lot of the players on the side of FPX as they're fighting over that blue buff.
That's a little bold, Deokdam. I literally just cast or curse you to hell, buddy. I'm so sorry. I will initiate my apology as it's Elk who has turned it on. And that's going to be a double kill to them. They're going to push it down here. And they could even go for the spare, and they have all 5.
BLG are looking for the Baron for sure right here. MilkyWay is going to beeline towards the top side of the map, see if he can potentially pull in any type of shenanigans, try to steal that Baron. It's going down so freaking quickly. You've got double marksman on it. Can MilkyWay make the difference right here? He can't even make his way in.
It's not going to be fast enough. It just came up. He might look forward, but that is already BLG taken. And now FPX might have overextended. Luckily, they have a lot of mobility to get away from that. But my goodness, in one fell swoop, BLG have turned this game completely around. Now they're in the primary team fighting position as they'll be getting close to those third items here as well. Let me take a look back at that one. And as I was praising him, the power of Cast a Curse becomes live.
Over blue buff. Over
Oh
blue buff.
my god, man.
The thing with Misfortune is he's very, very strong and very agile as well when it comes to those fights with the extra speed that he gets from a kid, of course. However, when you have no flash and you are in a choke point and you're committing yourself to standing still to cast bullet time, you are a very, very easy target for BLG when you are flashless. They've got so many champions that can dive forward. Talking about it.
Dude, BLG have just said, we are done with this game. We are going to fight you in your jungle and force your hand just like you did for the first 20 minutes of this game. But they are the ones that are taking advantage of it here. And now that lead is still going to be about 1,000. But Elk is trying to get this outer turret. And that lead's going to switch over to BLG as they take this second tier outer. As could be traded a little bit slower in the top side by Care. And BLG moving to this mid lane.
And a little reminder right here, that was a 3,000 gold lead for that Misfortune. It's been chopped in half.
Yeah.
After all of those objectives going down, as well as the Baron, a bunch of kills towards
They gotta get top. They didn't do as much damage to the inhib turret there. Luckily, Kara decides to back off as the backs have come through. But both inhib turrets and top and bot get a little bit of tickle.
Now, before you cast a curse, Deokdam, I was just about to say, it has never been about whether Deokdam or anyone on FPX can perform or not, because we have seen them at their best. It's been more about the consistencies.
God. We just can't say his name. We're not allowed. We're not allowed to say his name because it just makes him go crazy. I don't know what it is.
What are you doing
there?
That's 2 times. Deokdam, what are you doing there? There is nothing in this river. There's no Baron, there's no Skullcrab. There is not even a bit of a jungle on any quadrant. Top or bottom, nothing.
We have to sign our agreement right
nothing.
now, Trouble. We cannot say his name for the rest of the game. We will not curse him like that. He was in such a good position, and we've killed him twice now. No, but you know, I'll actually making light of it. It is a rough position for FPX because this is a position they've been in time and time again. They've had so many close series that are ripped straight out of their own hands. As a tier 2 goes down in topside, this Baron buff power play is almost reaching 4,000 now, and it ain't stopping as they're going to continue to push it into an inhib tower in topside. FPX, they want to try to stop this, but they just can't. There's no resources.
There is not much wave clear without the bullet time from Deokdam's Misfortune. And as he was down, BLG just marched forward, took every single outer tower, still standing for FPX from a 5,000 gold deficit. They are up almost 2,500 gold themselves. That gold graph shows exactly the situation right there. And I am honestly speechless. We do know BLG for having fun games, but it really did feel like that early game purely belonged to FPX. Out of the efforts of that bot lane, Deokdam and Life having a fantastic early game, bleeding it through the entire map. BLG were scrambling to try and find picks across the map, but right here, once the teamfight stopped, BLG are queens in terms of teamfights. Life looking.
Trying to find a little bit of damage. MilkyWay does have the Dream Dust on him. But yeah, the fact that Deokdam has gone like the last 5 minutes without a single kill. He was 0 kills. Oh my god, we're just going in. Lilting Lullaby is actually so huge right now. Big slicing Maelstrom, and we said they were waiting for the team fights. They do find them, but MilkyWay trying to do his best impression right back to them. Gets gunned down by Elk, and the carries are still alive. The jungler is still alive, and BLG, they've roared to life.
Deokdam was nowhere near their screen when that engage went on BLG. Spot only 4 members of FPX, and they know they can take him down with numbers advantage. Fantastic chain of their ultimates as well. Wade taking that Kindred ultimate first and then Bin capitalizing right after he pops. Great stuff right there from BLG. And again, they are the queen. BLG is the queen of team fighting. The best team that we have in the LPL for that incredible engage by On. Way too late on the W by Life. And whilst Wei puts down the ultimate to take the Kindred ultimate away, that's where Bin pops it right after. And by the time Deokdam gets in this fight, it's way too little, way too late.
And we're starting to see BLG find their strength
here.
Yeah. It's crazy when you had so much strength for Deokdam. Again, I was trying to say before that fight kicked off, he was 7-0-4. Like at 21 minutes or so, right? Like he was so strong, and we haven't been able to see him pick up anything, let alone an assist, just the deaths. So trying to find a way to get Deokdam into these fights now and get this wombo combo off cleanly is what we have to see for FPX, because they are slowly but surely starting to lose grip on reality in this game number 1.
It's becoming a little bit difficult again. FPX do not have the setup to start any fights. Yes, they do have a bunch of range, but so does BLG. But BLG have the go buttons to do that. They've got Wei and they've got On. That's easier, of course, to do with the Rel when there is no flash onto Wei's Lilia. Baron will be coming up, and as a cherry on top, it will also be a mark for MilkyWay. That will be his 9th.
It's burning so fast.
However, it's already gone, and FPX do not have position. The TP is going to come in, but you don't have any access.
Maybe this is it. Maybe this is the Deokdam bullet time, but that will not be the case. The Baron goes down, and BLG are looking for a fight. They were looking for a big swirl seed on the side. Now, oh, they get yeeted on out of there. So now FPX, they might have to fight. Life is going down low, though. Bullet time is going to claim a kill back on a Knight. On is back into the fight now, though, and that's very difficult for FPX to manage as they will back. Oh, Elk was trying to go for the arcade shift over the wall and follow care there. Care needs to be a little bit careful, but the Baron buff was still secured on 4 members of BLG.
Man, the mid laners have been having a rough time. At the beginning of the series, we're like, hey, listen, the support jungle synergy is so good right now, but the better mid laner wins. Both of his mid laners have been having a really, really rough game. In particular for Care, he hasn't been able to make that quirky damage stake because he's pretty much dead at the start of every fight. Right here, as we can see, ZDZ is pretty much blocking one of the choke points through that river from the Baron play from BLG, and a great flash E onto Knight. He has been pretty much the one member that has been getting bullied from the sort of BLG. They will trade that support life for the mid laner, which is worth it momentarily. However, BLG do have the pink or purple. Oh, On.
Oh, they actually might have to re-engage. Yeah, Life has to get the Lamb's Respite out of MilkyWay. Oh my god, that was one Mystic shot, by the way, from Elk, and Elk just dies right back to MilkyWay. And that'll be big because ZDZ is now on the other side, trying to go in, though. He's by himself. FPX won't push in mid lane. They realize BLG are not good testing them here. They have the priority to push this one down.
Life has been instrumental with the way he's been using his flashes and hex flashes, taking control around the jungle, trying to play from Fog of War, jumping through walls, finding picks. Incredible. It is so incredibly hard to do this with a pick like Poppy. Oh, they got Deokdam there. It does have cleanse.
There's a Gigabin stomping his way in here. This is terrifying. It's like a nightmare unleashed, but it's denied. Life gets him, and there you go. That's the play we've been waiting for from FPX this entire time. The team fight denied for for BLG, and FPX show their fangs.
Life's Poppy has been absolutely incredible this series. Again and again, I'm gonna say it's so difficult to play Poppy into what BLG have offering in those team fights, and Life denying Bin with a last-second wood in this brush and instant E on the wall. Life has been pretty much the life or death of FPX
Look
right
at the
here,
vision.
unironically. Just
Oh
about.
my God.
They seem the last second ward, and Life pins him onto the wall with the E. That would have been FPX popped. Bin has 4 items on this cannon.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I think a little bit of the indecision killed him there. I think if he goes a little initially, maybe it's different. But in the end, the denial is there, and that's what this Poppy pick brings to the table: the denial of entry by a lot of the engage tools that BLG want to center in these team fights. We are getting ready for another dragon, though, here, Trouble, and we got to get this mid priority underway.
Absolutely. FPX, it's very difficult for them to try and fight in open areas. There is no walls for Life to try and find picks on, and BLG are on their third. They want to deny Soul.
They do. FPX are still going to be there, but they're going to give it up as Dragon goes over. Will be tied 3-3. BLG on. He steps up. He misses the shattering strikes, but Knight is still right behind him to get the damage down. Bin was looking for an angle on the other side. Elk trying to get some poke down, stop the strutting from Deokdam, but he can't get the shield off there, so the strutting will continue. Bin is on the top side. The vision is not going to get him. He flashes. There you go. A second round, and maybe that's just enough, but everybody's getting away from him, and Bin goes down. That's a lot of your gold. That's a lot of your setup. And FPX, they are playing together, and the Phoenix is strong as a true shot barrage. Melts that Phoenix in half, and MilkyWay is going to get the last respite, but he's in between a rock and a hard place. ZDZ, he's going down too, and BLG, they somehow pull the mechanics out, and they find the wipe off the back of huge carries from Knight and Elk, and they will push for the win. BLG needed a 2-0, and they're on that track.
It has not looked clean this game, but a 2-0, as you said, is all they need, and a W is a W. You see Knight laughing as well. He's had a tough game all game long, but the triple kill to solidify that first win versus FPX.
What a game to kick us off. It was absolutely insane, and also massively heartbreaking for FPX. And I think, honestly, that might be the tale of FPX here, especially in the Rumble stage. They have been so close to taking down top teams in so many games, and the coordination, the communication, it starts to falter. And we see things like this where BLG take full advantage of it. Any thoughts from you before we send it off to a break, Georgia?
If I'm live, I'm gutted. That's all I have to say. That was an incredible Poppy performance.
Yeah, it's a bit unfortunate, but maybe they'll be able to bring a little bit of fire back to it with game number 2. We'll see you on the other side of this break.